Mama used to, well, she was very serious about music, although she was unusual for her day in that she liked ragtime as well as classical music. She played piano and taught piano. But I don't remember her taking me to Jenkins' store very often. It started when I was 5. She took me there one day I think she was picking up some sheet music or something like that. I asked if I could have a harmonica, and she bought one for me. At that time, Hohner Marine bands only cost 50 cents. She said I was playing Turkey in the Straw before we got out of the store. I don't remember too much about the store, except they had a whole lot of musical instruments. Later on, I joined the fife and drum corps that was offered by that store. That's where I first picked up playing the penny whistle. The fingering is the same as on the fife. I never did get very good on the fife, but we had a lot of fun. I don't remember any public performances. But they also let me fool around with other instruments. I remember playing on the xylophone. I couldn't really play it, but they let me hammer on it a little bit and things like that. It was an interesting store. It was a Jenkins Music Store in downtown Tulsa. At that time, they were just starting bus lines in Tulsa, and if there weren't enough buses to go around, they used old open touring cars. They're called jitney buses. And I remember it was a jitney that Mama took me on down to that store. I used to get an allowance at home, and one idea of it was that every month I would get a new harmonica because I wore them out very rapidly. I always carried one in my pocket, and it would get bent. I couldn't keep it in the case. They only had cardboard cases then anyway, and it wasn't very strong. But Mama would take me down, or I would take the bus or the streetcar or walk down to Jenkins and get myself one every month. I used to blow and draw, and when I was very young, and try to move it so that the highest note was the melody note I wanted. So the whole thing was played with chords. Later on, my brother's friend Floyd Bowles, who was with my brother in the Scouts, told me about tonguing, how you can block off the holes you don't want with your tongue, and whenever you lift your tongue, they sound. So I learned about that from him. Then later on, I think I myself thought about the idea of sounding a bass note on the left-hand side of your mouth while you're blocking off the middle tones and sounding the melody note on the right side of your mouth. You have to play with kind of a forked tongue to do that. I think this came before the accordion. I got the accordion when I was 8. Judge gave it to me. I was already conscious of the fact that you could make a bass note on the harmonica, and I was just delighted to have this accordion that really sang out on the bass note.